What if I never got to see another dawn? I noticed that and I don't think I'm the only one, but in my case, I'll speak about my own experience. I fail to consider my impermanence in my everyday life. We all know we're gonna die someday, but we tend to forget about it. And don't get me wrong, in a way, it's a it's a coping mechanism. And to a certain degree, I think it's okay. I mean, it's important to remind ourselves that we are not going to be here forever, that this is impermanent. It kind of reminds me when we are taking a test, and we know, for example, we have an hour and a half to complete the test, but we seem to forget about it until the teacher reminds us that there are 10 minutes left, and we want to rush to finish everything. We go like crazy. And in a way, life reminds me of it. We tend to forget we have a deadline, that we have an expiry date. We don't get to be reminded of the time we have left, because nobody knows unless we are diagnosed with a severe illness or something. But unless something like that happens, we tend to forget that we don't get to live indefinitely, and that we forget that our time here is not infinite. But that is part of the deal. That has always been part of the deal. We come here knowing that we won't be here forever, and not knowing for how long we will be here. The sign read, "Gift a rose" in Spanish. We almost walked past it, my friend and I. And I'm thankful we didn't. Those are little gifts that are there if you pay enough attention. It was something so simple, yet so powerful. It reminded me of those times when I didn't need a reminder to notice something beautiful. That sense of awe seemed to be intuitive. It was second nature. But as adults, I feel like at times we need a gentle nudge. We need a reminder to stop, to appreciate something, to notice the beauty of our surroundings. We are often too lost in our thoughts to pay attention to our surroundings, and I'm pretty sure there are lots of things we miss. Always replaying the past or planning for the future, and we forget about one thing, which is this moment, the now, which in reality is the only moment we really do have. Of course, there are things we can do now to make better decisions in the future, but we can't really change the past. And all we have is the present. We're always taking something for granted, and we don't realize it until we don't have it anymore. We don't realize we take things for granted until we lose them. It might seem easy to think that our sense of awe is something we lose as we age, much like
collagen.
But in a way, I would like to think that is not the case. That it is an innate ability, and it's always there, and we just need to reconnect with it. We just need to find it. Because it's usually it has been overwritten by our daily lives, our daily life demands, our daily needs, and it might seem we've lost it, but it's an ability we can never lose. To do that, we need to shift our approach to life. It requires us to be more present, at least a little bit more. More intent. To live life with more intent. When we truly pay attention to our surroundings and we let life surprise us, I do think that we can still find joy in everyday life. And I think so because we truly haven't seen everything there is to see, have we? It would be sad to think that. It would be it would be depressing to think we already have. I refuse to believe that. There's a lot to see yet. There's a lot to discover, there's a lot to learn, and there's a lot to try. There's a lot to experience, and there's a lot to do. We haven't yet seen it all. And that's the reason why I believe that there's still a lot of joy to be found in everyday life. What was the last time you smiled because you heard your favorite song coming out of an open window? Those are the things that really make a difference. And those are things we tend not to indulge in because we are too busy. But I would say that maybe that's not the appropriate word. Maybe we're often too unavailable. We are mentally, emotionally, maybe we are unavailable. We're just not there at that moment to appreciate what life is gifting us. We are too worried about too many things, many of which are important, of course, many of which aren't, many of which are under our control, and many of which aren't. And we miss all those things that make life worth living, that make life amazing, in a word. I would say usually there are two things that happen. Either we fail to appreciate these moments, we fail to notice them, and they just go unnoticed, they're just gone. And we didn't even register them. Other times we do. Other times we do notice. It's just like they fade into the background. And we don't bring them to the foreground. Because we are taking them for granted. That's why. We take those moments for granted. And we forget why they are there. We forget what their role is. They are not there just because. They are there to wake us up from our slumber, to bring us joy and to make life more fulfilling. And that's exactly where we find extraordinary in the ordinary. We ignore the little things. And it's those little things that make the difference. So maybe it would be wise to choose to leave home each day with a curious mindset, to let life surprise us a bit more, to pay more attention to our surroundings, to just make the conscious decision to be there, if only for some minutes at a time. It's amazing. It really is the difference that a few minutes make. A few minutes of appreciating good music, a few minutes of reading the pages of a great book, a few quality minutes spent with our pets, with our family. There are always a few minutes to enjoy. Or maybe it would be more appropriate to say there's always something we could enjoy for just a few minutes. Emily Dickinson once said that forever is composed of nows. Moments are the building blocks of our existence. And most of the times we tend to think about a happy life like if a happy life only consisted of 100% happy moments, and that's rarely the case. If I close my eyes now, some of those happy memories of those moments I was able to enjoy come to mind right now. I'm pretty sure there are many more that I missed, but there are a few that became so powerful for me, so strong, that are always lingering there. I even have a picture of one of them. The others are just in my mind. So the more we get to enjoy specific particular moments of our lives, the happier we will be overall, in a general sense. And the only way to truly enjoy a moment is to show up, to really be there, and not just to be physically there and mentally somewhere else. I know that's difficult. It's been something I've been struggling my whole life with, but I found a way. I found a way to really make the most of some of the happiest moments I can remember. And that's by making the conscious decision of being there. And maybe the only thing you need to do is to remind yourself that the moment is not coming back, that you won't get that moment back, like ever. You might be thinking, how do I do that if I'm not aware of the moment? Well, there are ways, and we rarely are 100% absent too. We need to take advantage of those semi-absent moments when we are not really there, but we somehow feel, we have the feeling that we are having a good time, or we are enjoying ourselves, even if not fully present. It's important to take advantage of it and to choose to be fully there, to choose to be fully present. Something that distracts me, maybe a certain event, music playing, some strong smell, something that just briefly takes me out of that loop of thoughts. And I take advantage of it. I consciously take advantage of it and remind myself that that moment is not coming back. And that's when I tend to discover certain little surprises that life gives us. Maybe you can even fake it till you make it. At times pretend you're really there, and then suddenly you are. It doesn't last long. Maybe it's just a few seconds, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, but it will make a huge difference. The dog was splashing around, and occasionally he tried to retrieve the coins from the fountain, the coins that the people were tossing. These memories are the kind that stick with you, and they are so simple and yet so profound in their impact. What else could I ask for? Right now, what else could I ask for? And probably nothing. And that's the great power of it. That's the great power of being more present, of collecting more of these moments that later become memories, and that make so much difference. You simply say to yourself, if this isn't nice, then what is? So take a few moments now, look around. If you're watching this right now, there's at least one thing for you to be grateful for. There's at least one thing for you to appreciate. Or maybe you just close your eyes and let the first memory that comes to mind, let it linger and let it be there, and be grateful for it. Let it take hold and try to really bring it to life, as if you were living it once again. Thank you for watching.